All right. We are back by popular request. It is the return of the Sunday night news and nonsense report. And I have Toss here, believe it or not. How you doing, Toss?
I'm doing good. Welcome, comrades. Battery through. Oh, wait, that's the wrong podcast. So sorry. Goodbye.
It's funny. Toss, I found a new. I found something else that's useful for Folgers crystals. Do you know what that is?
Jeez. Cleaning out your toilet pipe. I don't know.
Hair coloring. I washed the gray out of my hair with Folgers crystals.
Folgers hair coloring. So wait a minute. Is this before or after you finish your cup of coffee?
Well, actually, what I did was I don't like drinking instant coffee, but we had all this instant coffee, decaf that I won't even drink.
Is this for real?
I kid you not.
Okay. Tell me how this works. Yes.
So I just mixed a little bit of it up, put it in a spray bottle, and sprayed it in my hair, and let it dry, and it darkened the gray.
Wow.
Hey, there's a new security flaw. It impacts most Linux and BSD distros. Linux and BSD variants that employ the popular Xorg server package, almost all do, are vulnerable to a new vulnerability disclosed on Thursday. The vulnerability allows a hacker with limited access to the system, either via terminal or secure shell session, to elevate privileges and gain root access. It can be used to break into secure computers. It can't break into secure computers, I meant to say, but still useful to hackers because it can quickly turn simple intrusions into bad hacks. Now, the article goes on to say, of course, the Linux community has picked up on this, and, of course, check your package managers. I'm sure we'll be seeing a fix for this coming to you in the near future.
Just a thought, when is the web never about security? Really? Right? It's always something going on, yeah.
Security, privacy, there's all kinds of issues like that. And, we're going to be ending this in the true news and nonsense sense. So, everything you've loved about news and nonsense is going to be here in this episode, folks. So rest assured, your long wait, well, it's going to be worth the wait. Or at least we're going to try and make it.
Okay. Well, as you know, the latest family of Ubuntu's was released recently, the 9-month release cycle non-LTSs. I tested 3. Since I got a new Kingston SSD, I tested Ubuntu proper, whatever it's called, Ubuntu with GNOME or whatever it's called. I tested Lubuntu, super lightweight and nice looking with the new Qt, desktop, very nice. But my current love is still Ubuntu Mate's battery. I cannot be torn away from Ubuntu Mate. So a quick shout out to Martin Wimpress for the Linux gold standard for beginners and beyond, Ubuntu Mate. Well done, Martin Wimpress.
Cool stuff. It's funny you mentioned that because I did look at the new Ubuntu 18.10, and I thought it was a nice implementation of the GNOME desktop. And I was meaning to have a look at the Ubuntu Studio, but I couldn't even get that one to boot up properly.
Oh.
After an interesting discussion today with Tux Digital, he suggested that I have a look at the latest Kubuntu. So that will be coming up tomorrow on Cup of Linux. I'm not sure if I'm going to live stream it or if I'm just going to make a quick little video. We'll see. If I do a live stream, it'll be earlier, around noonish. So for those of you who are up and about around noonish, keep an eye out. You never know. You might see it. Cool stuff indeed. All right, let me see what else do I have here.
Spatry, just real quick, somebody posted, says, I'm really quiet and they cannot hear you at all. So I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay, let's see what's going on.
I boosted my mic just a little bit more. Let me know if that helps. I just realized it is kind of low on my end. I just boosted it up about 20%.
And is my audio coming out any better now? Hopefully they'll respond in a moment. I just boosted the gain on my mic on this end, so hopefully that'll work out a little bit better, and I'm sorry about that.
Welcome to the new quiet news and nonsense. Shh.
Absolutely, right? I'm doing another check here to see if my gains are okay, and it looks like my gains are all right, so I just did a little boost on it, so hopefully they'll be able to hear me a little bit better. Right. And it appears another milestone achieved to run Linux apps on a Chromebook. Linux apps can run in a Chromebook Chrome OS environment. However, the process can be a little tricky. It depends on your hardware design and Google's whims. It is somewhat similar to running Android apps on your Chromebook, but the Linux connection is far less forgiving. If it works in your Chromebook's favor, though, the computer becomes much more useful with more flexible options. Still, running Linux apps on a Chromebook will not replace the Chrome OS. The apps run in an isolated virtual machine without a Linux desktop. What is that?
I don't know.
Gosh, I've always said half measures avail us nothing, but I think this one takes a cake. What do you say, Toss?
Well, not to change the subject again, but Spatry, we may have to release this podcast in Braille because it says that you're coming in mute on the YouTube stream. Not to me, but yeah.
That is weird. Hold on a moment. Let me see what's going on
All
here.
right. Let's see. Well, Linus Torvalds came back after the little brouhaha from the Linux community. He took some time off. It wasn't that long, a couple months. He needed time to reflect. I don't blame him. He's back. Linus, welcome back. You're always welcome on our shows anytime that you wish. I think Spatry, he took time off. He was staying at a resort in Finland. I think it was called the SJW Hilton or something like that. But no, he's back, and I wish him the best.
Have you read the COC that they actually did adopt?
I guess it was redone again. I have not read the one that's been redone again. I saw the one that they redid 2 months ago, but not if there's a newer one. I have not seen it. No.
Well, it seems to make sense. I didn't see any language in it that really does away with the meritocracy, and I think there should be some level of meritocracy because obviously these people, have been working on the kernel and everything.
Yeah.
They work very hard for, to earn the positions that they have. And why should some outsider have control over them and get people fired from their jobs just because they don't share their views? Stupid stuff indeed. So, yeah.
With all that's going on in the world today, and that includes Linux and Windows communities, there's one undisputable feeling, whatever, that can fix it all, and that is pure love. Just loving thy fellow human being. If we can do that, imagine that.
Oh, okay, cool stuff.
Well, that's how I see it, so.
All right. It appears that CodeWeavers has released Crossover 18 for Linux and Mac OS. Okay, and basically the article is stating that Crossover 18 significantly improves support for DirectX via Wine D3D. And it's also the first version of Crossover with DXVK compatibility, a Vulkan-based Direct3D 10 and Direct3D 11 implementation for Linux and Wine. Users can now easily install DXVK into new and existing bottles with a simple crosstie. Now, interestingly enough, I understand that CodeWeavers is also responsible for actually making Steam's Proton. And of course, there are people from the Wine Project that have their hands in the crossover bucket too, and I think they all share code. But at any rate, if you wish to support Wine, it's always been suggested to support the CodeWeavers project because they're contributing a lot of code into Wine, and it appears that both the Wine project and Proton are benefiting from stuff that CodeWeavers is doing. So, interesting news indeed.
I was going to ask you, you mess with gaming. How is that new, what is it called, Proton? How is that working? for you?
It's absolutely amazing, Toss, because all of the Windows games that I have tried um, runs flawlessly on my
Okay.
Linux box. Um, I'm running Skyrim on it now with full mod support and everything. Now, I wasn't able to get the SE version, which is using the DirectX 11, working until I installed the Vulkan libraries
Okay.
on my system. Once those were installed, then the DirectX 10 and DirectX 11 games started working. Now, I didn't try to run every single game in my Steam library for Windows, only a few programs. I have spoken to people that have had issues with getting some Windows games properly running, and in some cases, you're better off running your Windows games in regular wine rather than using Steam Proton. I also did put up a tutorial where I show people how to, grab the Proton and then import that into Play on Linux. Some others have said that they were able to also get it working with Lutris as well. So, yeah.
That was
It's awesome software.
I have a question. That's my last thing as far as the news goes. I have a question for you, and it is Lutris. I came across an article. It says Lutris, Linux game management made easy. Now, when I see a sentence that says Linux game and easy, I kind of have to stop and say, wait a minute. So, what's up with this Lutris? How does that work?
Lutris basically gives you a front end for running several different game technologies. Okay, so in addition to running Wine, you can also run a number of native Linux games. I believe now I'm no expert on this, and I can't give a complete answer because I haven't really used Lutris that much. I mean, I played with it a little bit. I understand that it does run your emulators if you want to, play your main games and stuff like that. And supposedly it's the most comprehensive tool set for running various different gaming technologies. Okay.
Okay.
I chose to stick with Play on Linux because, well, I run all of my Windows applications through that, with the exception of a couple of games that I'm running through, Proton. Through the Steam client, because I just shooed my games in there that way. So I haven't really had a need to use Lutris.
Okay.
And I'm the kind of person, I'll just stick with what I enjoy working with.
Yes.
I have read some people have had a few issues with Lutris, but because I haven't spent enough time to experiment with it enough, I can't say for sure.
Okay. Well, all I have is some oddball news left. What about you?
Oh, here it comes. Well, interesting. I also have some nonsense news too, but it's still tech related. Bring it on.
You first. Go ahead.
Okay. The D in System D stands for damn it. A nasty DHCP v6 packet can own a vulnerable Linux box. Of course, this is coming from the register, folks, so take this one with a grain of salt. A security bug in System D can be exploited over the network to, at best, potentially crash a vulnerable Linux machine, or at worst, execute malicious code on the box. The flaw, therefore, puts System D-powered Linux computers, specifically those using System D and Network D, at risk of remote hijacking. Maliciously crafted, blah, 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 blah. Suffice to say, those of you wearing tinfoil hats, completely disconnect your computers from the internet, shut the machines off, and you'll be safe, okay? Otherwise, you'll have to wait a while for the patch to come out. I imagine it won't be long before they find it, because apparently Felix Wilhelm of the Google security team was credited with discovering the flaw. And of course, once the community has discovered these potential flaws, they all jump pretty quickly to get these resolved.
Okay, let's see if I have something funnier. All right, here we go. This is not tech related, okay? All right. Doctors remove live cricket from man's ear canal. This happened in Vietnam. Now, my question is, how did he get a cell phone in his ear? But a bump bump. Let's see. California man trying to burn spiders ignites his home. Do I have anything else? How does a cricket get? Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you sit back and relax a little bit, okay? Because I'm going to sing you a song, okay?
You did say relax, right?
Everybody loves the NSA, NSA. Everybody loves the NSA because your privacy is...
Hang on, I have a knock at the door. I think it's the FBI. I swear it wasn't me. It was Spatry, sir. Yes.
NSA tools used to attack nuclear energy firms. This just came out a few days ago. So yeah. Security researchers have spotted a new campaign using 2 attack frameworks and a backdoor allegedly developed by the NSA to spy on scores of targets in Russia, Iran, and Egypt. Yes. The tools were originally published in March 2017 by the Shadow Brokers, a group linked to Russian intelligence claimed they came from the U.S. spy agency.
It never ends, does it?
It never ends. Nope.
Let's see. This is from India. A man was caught smuggling live cobras underneath his scooter seat.
Did they bite him?
It doesn't say. It just says he was caught. Of course, how do the authorities know he was carrying live cobras? Oh, never mind. I don't want to know.
Oh, goodness. Toss.
I just report the news. Don't shoot the messenger.
Okay, Sam Woodsell says IBM does great things, but they tend to lose their properties to other companies, Model M, ThinkPad, etc. Matter of fact, somebody was telling me something about some company buying another one, and I forgot what it is now. But it's supposed to be big news, so I'm sure we'll see it in the next few days here.
Okay. I just have one
checking.
more, and then that's
Go
it.
ahead.
Well, this is from last week, and I have to. It's worth mentioning again because it's so bizarre. Apparently, a passenger plane out of India, a pilot, as he took off, and I kid you not, as he took off, he took out a piece of a wall and a tower on takeoff and decided to keep on flying. The tower, this is true. The tower, yeah. Thank you for flying air bumper cars. Goodbye. No, but the tower took 2 hours to convince the pilot to turn around. Now, it makes you wonder where do they get their training, right?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but that would be scary. Anyway, I would not be flying to India. Thank you. That's all that I have.
All right. I don't have anything else either, but
I want to give 2 quick shout-outs. Before I forget, Tim, if you listen to this, thank you. Tim has been a terrific co-host doing the late shows Friday nights, like between 10 and 1 o'clock in the morning. Tim is out of the hospital post-surgery. I won't go the whole details, but he's doing better. Also, quick shout-out to Stephanie, who last year, we did about 10 or 12 News and Nonsense together. She was a good sport. She had some news items from Germany and stuff, and Christmas in Germany filled in. So thank you, Tim. Thank you, Stephanie. Just search Stephanie on my channel. She's a singer from Boston that works in Germany. Terrific lady, beautiful voice. 2 shout-outs to those 2 wonderful people. And that's it.
All right. Good stuff. So I got to ask you, Toss, in this season, are we ever going to get you to really ditch Windows completely?
No.
No, why not?
When we have a true standard national Linux desktop, then maybe.
Toss.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Total boo today.
Oh, you heard that, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought the sound effects, of course.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, all of you, for joining us on yet another fabulous Sunday night news and nonsense. I guess we're going to do this again this time next week, right, Toss?
Yep, we'll catch everybody next week, and please don't eat all the cannolis. Thank you.
And if we can get enough people in the listening room on our Mumble server, I'll give out a prize next week on our next news and nonsense report. So that'll be fun.
Please don't let the prize be Folgers.
Now, why would I do that?
Okay.
No, I've got plenty. I've got a bunch of Steam keys. Some of my anonymous donors have thrown at me, and so I've got a number of games to give away.
Okay.
And I have never kept a single one. I give away all of the Steam keys that are given to me to give away. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to give away some games, and we'll have
just in time for the holiday season. Here comes Patrick Claus. Here. Oh wait, that's a different song. Never mind. Yeah.
Battery Claus.
So I kind of like this Battery Claus. I like that. Patrick,
Right.
thank you.
Yeah, all right, cool deal. All right, cool. All right, Toss, why don't you take us out?
Once again, thank you everybody for allowing us to come into your homes in spite of ourselves, and always a pleasure. And we'll catch you hopefully next week. Ciao.
Goodbye.